Alright, let's break down Nvidia from top to bottom, figure out where we're at. So, I've done other videos where I went through all the way, the very start of the stock. Let's just go ahead and start here. 2022 was the fourth wave. So here's what I have as the first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave. Fourth wave was August to November of 2023. And then we got that big move higher. Here we have wave 1, wave 2. I have wave 3 up here. The dip in April as wave 4. And to be determined, is this the top right here? Or was this a extension? Is this going to end up being like that? Is that going to happen? Or was this the top? I personally lean towards that being the top. The reason why is it looks to me like a fifth wave. You look at the length of these two waves right here. Usually two are about the same length. Let's just see how close these get to each other. And look at that. They're like basically the same length. So I think this is pretty much the top right here at 140. Also, if you draw a parallel line here, you can see that we hit basically perfectly on that line. Two reasons why I think that was the top. Does that mean it can go higher? It can still go higher though. That doesn't necessarily mean this is going to be the absolute top. I mean the top of 5 waves. You can still have a B wave that can go up here. Look at the 1929 crash. So we could technically still go higher than 140, but the top of the impulse is right here, in my opinion, June 20th. So I think that this is already topped out for a long time to come. But like I said, we'll see. Maybe you can come up here to 170 sometime soon. So now getting into this, if that's the top, what is all this? Well, we got this move down. This is an A wave, WXY. And then we get this move up here. This looks like an impulse move to me. But then we get this move down, which also looks like an impulse to me. So, if I determine that this is a top right here, all we can expect would be ABC move like that. But this move down is an impulse, and that means it's not a B wave. So what can this be then? This could be A wave right here, and it can get really complicated. You're just making up scenarios at this point. A, bounce B, C lower like that, and then maybe get something like this, which turns out to make the whole thing ABC, and then this would be the B wave. And then we get a C wave down. This B wave doesn't necessarily have to go and break the high right here at 140, but it could go all the way up to, it could go all the way up here to 184. That would be the top. I don't think it can go anywhere higher than 184. So if you follow me, this is an impulse, this is an impulse. So I don't think that this is a second wave or a B wave. This is just part of the B wave. So it's either going to be, it's got to be an A wave, in my opinion. So A, bounce B, then get a C wave lower. Could it be a first wave down? It can't be a first wave down either, though, because this was an impulse. So you can't have an impulse as a B wave. So that's why I think this makes the most sense. We bounce up here, have another wave down, and then we have a big impulse up here that completes the overall B wave, and then we sell off down to new lows, or maybe just down to right here. So with all that being said, with all the talk about the future scenarios, that probably makes the most sense, but short term, I have this as another move down coming, potentially down to 98 bucks. Why 98 bucks? That is the 0.78 fib. That's pretty, usually does not go past the 0.78 fib, and that is the end of the support from this 3-day demand zone. So if we go down to 98 bucks, and this was an A wave down, we can expect a B wave that would at least retrace to 113.66, potentially all the way up here to 123, and you have a gap here at 125, so maybe up in there. So that's basically what I'm looking for, 98 bucks, and then retrace. This is going to take like 2 weeks. So maybe we retrace all the way until Powell, or maybe a little bit after Powell. So something like this. And then I would expect after that another wave down. So let's say we retrace to the 0.78 fib and fill this gap. Then you're looking at something down here, maybe a double bottom here at 90. And then if it double bottoms at 90, then you're just looking at potentially just a move back up here to the top one more time. So yeah, a lot of different scenarios, but really just focus on the short term. Short term, I think we pretty much bottomed. I'll be surprised if we go below 98 bucks. And then you're just looking for a retrace. The retrace will take 2 weeks to a minimum of 113 bucks. And potentially up here to 125. And that's really all you need to concentrate on, because yeah, there's no way of knowing exactly what the waves after this next move are going to be. But I don't think that this is a first wave down anymore, like I said originally, because this would have to be a B wave. Could this be a second wave? So I didn't really go over that. Could it be a second wave? The only way it can be a second wave is if this is a diagonal, because this fourth wave comes back into the first. So I don't think it is a 5-wave move. This does go to the 1.61 fib, so that means it's probably some kind of ABC or WXY move. So that's pretty much the breakdown. To summarize, I think we topped out here. I think 140 is the high of this cycle. I don't think that Nvidia is going to go any higher. And maybe I'll be completely wrong on that, but that's what I see on the chart, so I got to stick with it. And one other thing to point out, on the daily standard deviations, this is at the very bottom of the range. So it actually does support a bounce here as well. But this doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go up here to the top and break the highs right away. I still think that makes more sense to go like this. Maybe it only comes down to here for the C wave. And then we go up to a new high. I think there's probably going to be another move higher like this. And then we go down here pretty hard. So something like that. On the weekly time frame, it's super overextended to the upside. I showed that in one of the videos prior. So way overextended here. So we're just making our way back down here sometime in the next probably year, maybe 6 months down here to 80 bucks, around that range. So anyway, that's my breakdown of the video. Really, if you focus on anything in this video, focus on what I said is more than likely, which is bounce after 98 bucks to 113 to 125 over the next couple of weeks. And then all the other stuff that I laid out is a possibility, but not 100%, but has a pretty good chance of happening. Anyway, that's it for this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.